welcome back. My name's Newman and welcome to my Life with Plants. This is part 2 of getting your cacti and succulents ready for winter. I'm mainly a cacti grower, so I have very little succulent plants. This is my makeshift greenhouse here. So if you're not sure how all the rigmarole and how long it took me to get it up, you can watch part 1. Let's take a closer look. So if you didn't catch part 1, this is heavy duty polythene that's used for greenhouses. I like this heavy duty stuff. Also sometimes it'll kind of look like this. It'll have this mesh interwoven into it. The frame is made from these plastic poles from the Dysos store, or also you can get them at plant nurseries. And they have these swivel joins so that you can put a piece adjacent to make up a frame. So everything's cheap here. Yeah. These tables are stainless steel, baker's shelves. There's 2 of them. And the plastic just simply wraps around, and I use big plastic pegs, which you can see up here. See these? Oh, they're really big pegs. And this door is just tied up to some rope that's supported by the gutter around like that. And then when it drops down, the door, the Velcro will stick onto the pieces down here. Alright. So, another thing that I do is I always make sure that I keep a thermometer in here. So here it is here. It reads about 25 degrees. It's all the doors open. Winters, where I live, the daytime temperature is about 10 degrees, so that's about, I don't know, 25 Fahrenheit. But the sun, when it comes out, it really heats up inside here, so because it's such a small greenhouse, you got to open it up in the mornings, otherwise it can get well over 30, which is 90 Fahrenheit. During my winter season, I tend to water some of the smaller cacti, especially nodo cacti, and those kind of varieties might get a bit of water during the winter. Otherwise the root systems will just totally desiccate. I actually watered this Nodocactus magnificus last week, even though we're getting into November, because it was getting very spongy. As I said in part 1, all of these cacti are going to overwinter out here. I don't bring anything indoors, so what you see is what stays out here. I don't bring in anything. All of them stay out. Gymnocalycium mahanovici. You got the what do you call it? Coriantha, yeah, elephantipes, I think. Got some smaller plants down there. Yep, everything's going to overwinter out here. You don't bring them in at all. Here's something that is iffy. A lot of people think, oh, should I bring it in or not? No, I left it out here. But right down to -7. This plastic, of course, will stop the frost, but they still experience the cold right down to -7, which is about 20 Fahrenheit. So how's that for cold? Pretty cold. I don't know why I just don't use my common sense and just keep plants that can put up with my climate, but as a grower, and somebody who loves plants, I always want to try something else out. Espostoa, no problem. No problem. I probably don't even need to cover them. Then you got the Hamato cactus. I never even used to have them under a cover for years. Surprisingly, Notocacti are actually more cold hardy than you think. And this horstii, this thing's seen some cold winters. No problem at all. Mammalarias, they're easy. Down here, Phaerocactus glossans. That one will be no problem. You wanna know a really hardy Phaerocactus, and it's a morii. And that one there doesn't even lose any of its body fluids at all. It doesn't push them out. As a lot of cacti do, because they're just trying to get all the water out, which is what this one will do, so that it can put up with the frost and cold in its native habitat in Texas. This one's coming into bud, this mammillaria here. Yeah. Coming along here, I think it's kind of a Cleistocactus. Hasn't flowered for me yet because I only bought it as a very small chopped off cutting. Last year's frost, cold damage. Fortunately, this thing's going to get so monstrous and big, there's no way I can bring it inside. So what I've done is I've put a hook up here. I put these ones that you burn with a lighter. You burn the resin and you just stick it to the concrete, and I will just put a cover and hook it up around it, so even if it gets a little damage on the tips, it will still branch and look fine. Yeah. Over here, the Echinopsis, this one has a cover here or frame, and this one's going to get some cover too. Coming over, all of these cacti won't have a cover at all. They're just going to survive winter as is on the shelf. This Consolea Opuntioid is going to come inside, of course, because it can't handle the cold. It's tropical. So is this Euphorbia. Falcaria is much more cold hardy than you think. Minus temperatures, frost, cold, even snow doesn't bother them one bit. As long as your winters are dry and sunny, they can put up with the cold fine. Anyway, that's it. This was just an update on how I'm preparing for winter. Before I go, I'll show you what I brought inside. Before we go, this is indoors. Put some tropical plants here, like your stapelias. I even water these during the winter. They like it. They definitely don't want to dry out too much. If they lose their whole root system, they'll just die. So every month they get a water. I bring them in because of the temperatures dropping below zero. That kills them. Got all my seedlings in here. I love Echinopsis and I like making hybrids, so yeah, they're getting pretty big. These are Labivias. The thing is with seedlings is what kind of flower will you end up with. You might end up with exactly the same color as what you started with. You just don't know. These are crassulas. They got to come in because it gets too cold here. and you can see a hoodia, and next to it is a euphorbia, I forget the name, it's like a Medusa kind of one. I can't remember its name right now. Some more seedlings at the back there. 3 orchids, Dendrobium and Cattleya. Yeah, 2 Dendrobium, Kingii hybrid. And up here, donkey's tail, Sedum Morganianum. I've tried to winter these outside in my climate, but because it gets that cold and you get those below 0 temperatures, the whole thing just turned to mush. So I don't do it anymore. I bring them inside. Got a much bigger one, which is hanging here. It's really hard to find somewhere to put things when not everyone is as avid as you are about growing or looking after plants, and you try to pick places. This is very low light. It's next to a window, but it's north facing, so I'm in the northern hemisphere, so that is the least sunlight you're going to get. But amazingly, it just keeps growing even with very low light, and I will still water it too. And when spring comes around, I'll hang it back outside. Anyway, that concludes part 2, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more videos coming up. My next one will be about watering cacti. I'll be reading some useful information and then giving my opinion at the end. So that'll be worth watching, and enjoy growing, and I'll see you back next time. Bye.